Hey gang, welcome to an all-new episode of Duvall's Collection Expansion Extravaganza, right here on ToyWorldOrder.com. Joining me. Wow, there's a poltergeist in the room apparently. I don't know if anybody can see that. The lights
stepped over the light.
Yeah, we have lights on the left and right of us to light this, and one of the lights was like, it was really kind of creepy. I was like, whoa, what's happening?
Oh, can we not do one episode without some kind of blooper or mistake or something?
No. That's what makes it so much fun. It makes it enjoyable, right people? Nod your heads. Yes. Joining me is my lovely wife, Carrie Duvall. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Great. We didn't argue before this episode. Marriage. It's the good life. So this episode on Duvall's Collection Expansion Extravaganza, we got some cool stuff. First, I want to show something, some Popple stuff, which is kind of cool. And give a shout out. A viewer and a listener to the podcast, Mr. John Solo, came to Toy Show in St. Louis to meet myself and meet Dave. And met Pixel Dan as well, and he brought me some little goodies. One of them was a GoBot pocket from the Puzzler line, and actually he brought me one that had an intact spoiler on the back because my pocket had one of the spoilers broken off. So it's like the little yellow Lamborghini. So I got that from him, but I also got this awesome little kitty Popples cup, which was just one of the little Deca plastic cups sold in the 80s, and it was the little thing on it says goodies are for sharing, and Popples are such a cute little line. So a big thanks to Mr. John Solo for bringing this to me. He said he found it and wanted me to have it, and I was very grateful for it. And I love this little cup because we saw some of these at a church sale just literally days before we went to Toyman, and the people at the church sale, this was one of the most expensive things. They went at like $4 a glass, and we were like, no, absolutely not $4 a glass. So I was very very happy to get this, and so thank you, Mr. Soto.
Yay, we love free stuff.
Actually, I just love I love stuff like this when people are like, I thought you might like this. I'm like, yes, that is awesome.
Well, there's not much you don't like, let's be honest.
That's true.
So yeah, that's
true. She's got me there. Continuing on with the Popples.
Speaking of,
we have, I believe it's Party Popple from the Popples.
Party.
And she was one of the main Popples in the animated series, as well as there was a live-action Popple special that was made with puppets, which is really kind of creepy and cool at the same time. Not as creepy and cool as the Hug-a-Bunch special that used puppets, but the Popples one's a little cuter. And of course, Party Popple is from the 80s. She's from the original line. And I think we found her at that estate sale we went to. I don't remember if she was inside or if she was outside, but of course with the Popples, of course you can turn them inside out.
You know, and I'm trying to remember if I had any of these when I was a kid or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did.
You can turn her inside out. She becomes a little Popple ball. You can even tuck her head in there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Kind of. They never went in perfectly, but so you got yourself a little Popple ball, and then they pop into fun.
And then they party.
They party, like Party Popple.
I like these a lot because they're very colorful.
Yes.
And they're just cute.
They are very cute. Popples was a great little line. I'm surprised. It's come back once. I'm surprised it doesn't come back more than that.
Oh, it did come back?
They tried to bring it back. Late 90s, early 2000s, I think. So they tried to bring it back, and it just didn't go over as well as it did in the 80s.
It's too bad, because they're cute.
They're very, very cute. I love these little guys.
What is it?
It's a Popple.
Well, I know, what is this? Don't make fun. Is it supposed to... Is it a bear?
No.
It's just a made-up... It's a made-up animal? Okay.
It's a species of Poppalia called Poppleonopolis.
Are you making this up?
I am, actually.
I totally believed you for a second. I didn't know. Like I said, I don't really remember these when I was a kid.
No?
Yeah. Again, I didn't watch a lot of cartoons and stuff. We played outside a lot, so...
I played outside and watched plenty of cartoons. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know if we even had cable when I was a kid. I had cable
for a long time. Just basic cable. What cartoon
No,
channel?
but I don't think we had TV at all
Oh,
for a while.
she's one of those kids.
Yeah, it's
Sad.
called poor.
Those
No, but I
sad,
don't
sad
remember.
children that couldn't watch Saturday morning TV.
I just don't remember. Like, this would have been my
Yeah.
generation, and
Yeah.
I don't remember how.
And it would have been up your alley as a little girl
I
too.
know.
Although you were never much of a little girly girl.
No,
per
I
se.
didn't really. Yeah.
You didn't play with Barbies. You didn't play with any of that stuff.
No, my sister and I had some Barbies.
Yeah.
She cut their hair off and butchered them and all
Her little
that,
sister was evil as a child.
So, yeah.
Now she's a wonderful mother, but she was evil when she was younger.
Okay.
Party Popples, very cool. I think we've got several Popples now,
We do.
like 4 or 5 altogether.
Yeah. Again, we find them for really cheap usually at a garage sale or whatever.
Yep. And then, of course, we came across another Popple I didn't have at a flea market in St. Louis. Well, not in St. Louis. It was actually in Illinois, right outside of St. Louis. And I was like, how much for the Popple? And she's like, $20. I'm like, no, I'm sure you'll find her a good home by the end of the show. Take care.
Yeah, we're like.
She was like, well, on
no.
eBay, she sells for $50. I'm like, that's great. I find Popples for $1. I'm not paying you $20 for one I can find for $1. Like,
As always, if we just
and
wait.
I know, yeah.
If we're
And I know
patient.
that sounds mean to say, but if I'm patient and we wait, I will find it for the price I want it.
Well, because somebody will find this in their attic or something and think it's just a stuffed animal and not know and throw it in a box for $1, and that's fine, and then we win.
We win. Game is done. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like Popples. Popples are cute. Let's do Masters figure. I found a Masters figure that I actually didn't have in the vintage line. Well, I had as a kid, but I don't have it in my collection. And I found Whiplash. I mean, he's missing his spear, of course, but the spear is not hard to find. But he was in really good shape.
All
He's
of
still,
your toys are always
Watcha.
missing stuff.
Watcha. Watcha.
Is that what you're thinking
That's
right
right.
now?
I always liked Whiplash. I always thought he was a cool character, and as a kid, it was fun because he had the tail. Of course, that was his namesake, was Whiplash.
Is he a dragon? Here I am asking. I want to know what he is. He a lizard?
Whiplash is a lizard, I
Okay.
think, kind of a lizard. A
Now, I know
man,
for sure I didn't watch that. As
a man/lizard, a lizard, or a lizam.
Okay.
I'm trying. I'm stretching.
So you're missing a spear.
I am, and he's in pretty good shape. He's got some little paint missing on his feet, but I think I found him at a garage sale for $1.
Probably.
And not even that, I think. I wouldn't even think he was $1. Maybe he might have been 50 cents. But I was like, ooh, I don't have Whiplash. I'll buy him. And just random Masters figure. And I'm not really collecting the vintage line hardcore, but there are some characters I had as a kid that I'm like, if I see them and
Well, yeah, if you find him in a box for 50 cents.
I'm going to buy him. So, with or without weapons, I'm going to buy him. So, yay, Whiplash! Whiplash is a great figure. Everyone should have a Whiplash. You should have one for your collection today. Go find one. They're spectacular. Now these, yeah, these, not that one. These actually came from the estate sale. I went, no, these came from Toyman. I found these in a bin of Toyman. They were $1 a piece. And I dug and found a couple of them, a couple of the figures I didn't have. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. And he came with a sword and a fan, and he went, yeah.
Let me guess, he's missing the sword and the fan.
He is missing the sword and the fan. Yeah.
I give up.
That's what happens, people. I have a number of Chuck Norris figures. I think we've shown a number of them here. I might go.
We have several Chuck Norris cars.
Yes, we do. I have 3 of them. One of them was parts. A good buddy, Brent Scrano, actually has provided me with some of the weapons, and I think he's got a couple of weapons for this guy and this guy. So I may hit up Brent for some weapons.
These are very big.
Well, I'll show you why. But yeah, you basically squeeze his leg. You put the fan in this one's leg, and he went yeah. And then I found I want to say his name is Super Ninja, and he actually had a sword and a piece that connects to his foot, a little blade, and then when you turned his waist.
Ah, I gotcha. Well,
his kick.
Kind of.
You gotta hit it just right. Yeah. I actually, good buddy Scotty Cash actually gave me one of these once, and his leg was broken off, and I couldn't split the figure at the seams to fix the leg. I could have fixed the leg, but I couldn't get him apart to fix it, so I threw him away. And then I found this one in a box for $1 that still had his leg attached, and I was like, ooh, I need that one still. So this one and the Red Ninja from this line were like the last 2 figures released, and 2 of the hardest figures to find when they came out. I had all of these figures when I was younger, except for this one and the Red Ninja. I never had those 2. And I now have this one and the Red Ninja, so I win.
Good for you.
I win. Chuck Norris Credit Commandos, another fun, just a fun Kenner line that lasted 1 series and went away. But some of them have some great action features. There's some great sculpting and some great details on these figures. 1 vehicle, which was the Chuck Norris Karate Corvette.
Or 3.
I have 3.
I have to keep bugging you about that.
I know. But very neat little, cool little line. I would suggest anyone out there looking for a fun kidder line to collect that is small in stature and pretty affordable, the Karate Commandos line is probably your best bet. Yeah. He has pimp slapping action.
Oh my God. All right. Now these I like.
One more action figure thing.
Oh.
No, just these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you were considering these.
These are, well, they are considered action figures. Yeah, they are considered action figures. These actually.
Oh my God, this looks like me.
All but one of them. Yes, Carrie's right here. Rimco in the 70s did a line of McDonald Land characters, and of course, kids younger than myself and Carrie probably don't recognize a lot of these characters. I can't even tell you some of their names because I don't remember them, and I didn't look them up before we filmed this.
Well, we know that one, right? That's not the Hamburglar?
This is Big Mac.
Oh, Big Mac. Okay, I don't know.
And of course, the Rimco figures were posable. They had posable legs and arms, but they had this knob on the back of them that when you twisted it and you pushed it up and down, his not so much. There we go. So when you push it up and down, his head, and then of course you could kind of turn his head.
Oh, there we go.
This one works. This was the captain. I can't think of his name.
Was he missing a hat or something?
He is. He had a pirate hat, and he's missing the pirate hat.
Oh,
and that's fine.
Of course, everybody should know who this is.
Yes, everyone should know Ronald McDonald, who does actually look Carrie from when she wakes up in the morning.
Kinda, yeah. His hair is.
I know.
Well, except I'm not that cheerful. Look at the smile on his face.
Yeah, he's a happy one, and Carrie's not that happy.
These are kind of neat.
What's great about these is if you find them in their heads. This Ronald actually, I like Ronald, yeah, because he nods.
Goes back and forth.
Turns his head left and right.
Careful with
when we bought Ronald, he was actually, his head was broke, and actually I just pulled him apart. They're just put together with screws, and I just unscrewed the screws and pulled the body apart and found out one of the pins in the head that for the lever was missing, and I literally made myself a new pin. I took an old thumbtack, like a push pin thumbtack, and inserted it in the holes and snipped the ends and pushed it in there and just forced it in there so it would stay, and it fixed it perfectly. Probably better than he was when he first came out, but the Ronald's outfit is missing some things. He had some pockets, and you can kind of see remnants of white pockets, and he had a zipper sticker on his shirt, but Carrie and I almost won a whole lot of these one time on an online auction, and we lost. We forgot about the auction, and they sold for super cheap, and I was really upset because we both actually wanted these figures because they are really cute figures. So I was happy to find these not only at Toy Man, but this also came from the estate sale we just went to recently. And then this Hamburglar actually isn't from Rimco. A company called Huckleberry Toys.
He doesn't go with them?
He's well. Let me explain.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Huckleberry Toys in 2008, 2009. They reissued these Rimco figures without the nodding features.
Oh.
So this is actually a reissue.
You're right.
This is actually a reissue from Huckleberry Toys, but they are the exact same figures. They were taken from the same molds and the same scale as these original Rimco figures. And the Hamburglar was in the bag with these two, and I looked at him. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a reissue because he's way nice looking.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, the Huckleberry Toys reissued all these. And I never got to buy them because I would have bought the reissued Huckleberry stuff, but to find the Rimco ones and then find this Huckleberry Hamburglar was really cool. And these are really a neat line, especially something from the 70s, licensed McDonald's. There was a play set that had a train and stuff with it, and a number of other characters. I think there was a professor, there was Mayor McCheese, of course the Hamburglar. There was a Hamburglar in the Rimco line, and a Grimace.
Oh yeah, Grimace.
Yeah, and the Huckleberry Toys actually did a Grimace with 6 arms, or with 4 arms. I'm sorry, with 4 arms, because he was originally shown with 4 arms, and then they realized that was too scary and made him with 2 arms. But the Rimco one never did that. But these are just a fun piece of history from the 70s, from that era of toys, and they're in pretty decent shape for the most part. I mean, a little rough, but you can't beat it. I think I paid for the whole bag. And Ronald, I think when you add it up, I paid maybe $10, if that. So you really can't beat that kind of deal for these kind of toys. So fun.
Yay! Stuff I like.
The stuff Carrie likes.
Especially this one.
Yeah, of course, animal.
We're missing one.
We're missing Kermit. Now these actually came.
Now we didn't know these were even out.
Until we bought a fast food book that wasn't McDonald's, that was everybody else, and we found out these came from Jack in the Box in the late 80s, I think maybe 90s.
I don't know. We didn't even know.
We did not know these. Yeah, these were for Jack in the Box. and there was Kermit, Piggy, Animal, and Fozzie, and of course I managed to find Piggy, Animal, and Fozzie, and they were posable, movable heads, movable arms.
He's got a banana and a phone.
Fozzie can't figure out which one to answer, if he's going to answer the banana or the phone. As well as these little star stands.
Animal.
Yep.
Drummond.
With these little star stands, and these were Jack-in-the-Box premiums, and these are actually some of the best little posable figures for Muppets that I've seen in years, this size. Of course, Palisades made the really good Muppet figures, but for a small line, these actually were really, really, really well done.
Well, especially to get it in like a kid's meal, right?
Yeah, to get this in a kid's meal, there was a lot of playability with these. Of course, we're missing Kermit.
I'm sure we'll come across him.
We'll come across Kermit and his star, but these are just a really great little posable line of figures that if you're looking for small Muppets figures, you can hunt these down. Just look up Jack-in-the-Box Muppets on eBay. You'll find them. They're pretty affordable for the most part because they are kind of newer, so you're able to find most of them for a decent price. Buy and put them on your desk at work. That's what I did before I got to work from home. I had toys all over my desk, and now I just have toys all over my house. See? And then continuing with the Muppets, we found one more thing. Fisher-Price actually did a line of Muppets in 76, 77, and this is actually licensed 76 through 78, but Fisher-Price did a line of Muppets figures that had a little white stick that you put back here, and they were kind of puppet figures, where most of them could bend. They could bend at the waist, so you would take the stick and you can make them bow, and you can move them. Piggy actually is a piece of PVC. I mean, she's literally just a solid piece of PVC. She could be a finger puppet. Kermit. As well as she had the hole for the stick to go into, so she could be moved about, but she did not bend. I'm missing Piggy. I was missing Piggy, Kermit, and Animal. I'm just now missing Kermit and Animal from this set. Unfortunately, her ears were a little chewed.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think I got her for like a dime.
Probably.
And I told the guy I'll give you 10 cents for it, and he's like, okay, I'll take it. Yeah. So I'm not going to pass that up. Maybe eventually we'll find a better one for a little bit more money, but something that's got both her ears. But for now, she works perfectly well to put into the collection for Muppet stuff that I needed. So fun, cute little thing. Let's show you one. We've got one more thing that Carrie likes.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we do.
What's that?
We have
All of these.
a series, and I think as we maneuver these onto the counter, these were actually, I believe, Hardee's did a line of Smurfs glasses in the 80s, a couple of lines of Smurf glasses, and I could not tell you because I have not done the research to find out how many of them there are or how many of them there are that we have. But I know that we did not have the ones we have here, and these actually came, a couple of them from a flea market, several of them from our buddy Dave Draper, who had them in his cabinet, and he's like, I don't really want them, so you guys are collecting them, have them.
Yay, free stuff.
Dave Draper's awesome, but of course there was, we got, these glasses are really colorful, and the whole image surrounds the cup, so it's not just like the front and the back and you have nothing on the sides. It's 360 degrees. But you got we found Papa Smurf. We found Brainy Smurf. It was really cool because all the other Smurfs want to kill him.
Yeah, for $1.
For $1 a piece.
And again, sometimes collector glasses we find at antique stores, and they want like 17, 18 bucks a piece, and we're like, what? I'm gonna get them for $1.
We found Jokey, who actually, from what I understand, is the hardest one to find in any good shape. Yep, is the Jokey Smurf one. I don't know. I was told that he is the most difficult one to find from a lady at the flea market who had a bunch of them that we had already. She's like, do you have Jokey? And I'm like, we have Jokey. She's like, good, because that one's tough. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we've got him. So we have Hefty Smurf, who's great because Hefty had the little heart-shaped tattoo on his arm.
Ah.
Yeah, he was the tough guy of the Smurfs.
The villain.
We have Gargamel and Azrael, who they got their own cup, which was kind of neat. I like that cup a lot. We got Grouchy Smurf, who actually is Carrie Duvall most days. Notice that.
Or this could be me, Brainy.
She's
I'm way
cool.
smarter than you.
So you would be Brouchy. Or
Grainy.
Ooh, I like Grainy a lot. That's fun. And then we got.
Where's Clumsy? That's you.
I know.
Is there a Clumsy Smurf?
We have Clumsy somewhere, I think.
Okay. Well, you're certainly not Hefty.
I know. And then we have Smurfette, who, of course, all the boys are lusting after, the only female in the
Why isn't that me?
Smurfette? She has blonde hair. She doesn't have red hair.
I'm not a boy. You called me Grouchy. I'm not a boy.
I was just telling you what. I was just telling the emotions here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Silly, silly goose.
So we have all of these, and we have a few other ones already in a case.
We do. We have quite a few of them already.
We probably should look up and see how many there are.
We need to. We need to make a list of who we don't have.
There's 7 here, and I bet we already have 3, 4, or 5 of them.
Yep, so we have a number of them. So Smurf glasses are fun, and I think the last episode we did with glasses, it was sitting at the corner, and I think one of the comments was...
No, that was Big Al.
That was Big Al. And one of the comments on YouTube was, you should watch the whole episode to see if Big Al bites the dust or not, because he was really close and I kept hovering near him. So we're actually going to maneuver these back behind us for the time being. Oh, I almost dropped one there. Clumsy, again. Words describe me greatly, and clumsy is one of them. Now these actually are from a very short-lived kind of knockoff line from Mattel for, they were kind of trying to go after the strawberry shortcake line of stuff from Kenner. So Mattel brought out their, they got a license of similar characters called Herself the Elf, and these are actually, I found these at Toy Man. A lady had at her booth, and she wanted like $5 a piece for them. So, and I couldn't pass it up, considering if you look on eBay, these dolls loose and complete go for like $20 a piece, which is amazing to me. But I managed.
You brought them home, and I was like, never heard of them.
Yep.
The first thing I said to you was, that looks like
strawberry shortcake.
Shortcake.
So we found, I found Wood Pink with their Magic Butterfly one, and they all have, of course, most of these are open. So
what's their names?
They're on the front. They're across the top. Little button there.
Oh, Meadow Morn.
Yep. And so, of course, they all came with little accessories. They had little wands.
Doesn't look like they've even been taken off.
No, they haven't been. Just the boxes were open. They had brushes. And they all had these little bells on them. I don't know if you can. They had little bells on them that jingled. But yeah, they all had little hair pieces and removable shoes and clothes. It says you could play with them in the water, which I thought was kind of funny.
Weird. Looks like there was 5, and you got 4 of them.
Yes,
right?
There were 5 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5. But there were also some. There were some play sets. So you had like the flower vanity. You had the flower shower, the flower house, Herself the Elf doll tote. So there were some accessories, but yeah, for the most part, they were just the core 5 dolls that I'm aware of. I don't think these made it past the 5 dolls and the play sets initially. But the fact to find them like this, to where they were box complete, the boxes they were all open. Some of them are still taped with just regular tape.
So I wonder why they would open it but then not play with the doll.
Some of these don't look like they were open. Some of them, the glue. As these get older, the glue just. You know, some of them looks like they were opened on accident, like they were opened in transit. But for the most part, to find them in this shape, and the boxes are really nice. There's some tag residue, the old ones, of course, the tags on here. Some of the packages are the cellophane's starting to cave in a little bit. But I had no interest in buying these, and I had no interest in collecting these. And when I saw them,
they're here.
When I saw them, I was like, those are cool. I'll come back at the end of the show and see if they're still here. And if they're still here, I'll give her $20 for them. Just because I'm like, those are a neat collectible. There's something odd and unique. They were short-lived. If I wanted to find the 5th one, I probably could for a relatively affordable amount. I don't know about the play sets. I'm not that interested. But I'm like, if I could find all the dolls, that's cool. You know, I'll find a home for them, and you know, they go along with the strawberry shortcake stuff pretty much, because that's what they were made for, to kind of interact with that. So at the end of the show, I went back, and sure enough, they were still there, and I told the lady I'll take all 4 of them. So here you go, here's $20. And then of course when I looked and see how much they were worth, I was like, holy crap, those are expensive. So I was like, I don't know if she just didn't care or what, but so yeah, we found Wood Pink. Let's see, Willow Song.
The Herself the Elf.
Herself the Elf. And that one is Meadow Morn. So, very, like Carrie said, very cute little series. And when she first saw them, the first thing she said was, those look just like strawberry shortcakes. And I was like, you are absolutely right. They do look just like strawberry shortcake dolls. All right, board game. Last thing for this episode. This is actually kind of a unique board game in the fact that it's not actually a board game. It is a game, but it does not require a board. And this is actually based on the classic Hasbro licensed G.I. Joe, actually released by Hasbro, the Cobra Battle game. which basically it's a 2-player skill action game. You had firing missiles and panels that knocked off. They are rather large. I haven't set this up yet, but basically the idea is you load your missile into the launcher, and then you launch missiles at one another and try to knock off the panels of each other. And I believe you know, whoever knocks off all the other players' panels, of course, is the winner. So this actually, there were a couple of G.I. Joe things there. I bought one and Dave bought one. Dave actually bought, at the Toy Man, bought the, there was a G.I. Joe laser tag set, which was really cool. And then this guy, about a row across from us and down a little bit, I could see this sitting on his table, and we set up, and I looked at Dave and I said, I'll be right back. And I ran over there and was like, how much you want for the couple battle game? And he's like, $10. And I'm like, oh, sold. It is really cool though. It's really neat. And of course, when I brought it home, Carrie's like, why? And I'm like, she's like, not even really a board game. I'm like, well, technically it is.
Well, not just that, but I didn't realize that you were into G.I. Joe that much.
I'm not really, but again, it's a licensed item. It is a game.
Board game.
It is.
If you think about it, like Crossfire is considered a board game, and it's not really
exactly.
Really have a board.
Exactly. So
I probably will not play this with you.
No.
So
I'm sure I will find other people to play with me. So it was just a very cool, neat thing to pick up while I was there, and you know, considering this came out in '82, the year, you know, the first year G.I. Joe was back on the market. This is one of the odd items that came out during the big blitz of G.I. Joe in the early days. So to find one complete like this that still worked, very cool little, cool find. Very happy with it. So I'm very happy to have it. So very neat game. We'll just put this little guy back down her. So there you go, gangs. That brings us to the end of another episode of Collection Expansion Extravaganza. You can check us out on ToyWorldOrder.com. Of course, you can check out the podcast there. David Noel's Toys and Collectibles every Tuesday, hosted by myself and Dave Draper. And of course, Married to the Collection every other week on Tuesdays, hosted by me and the lovely Mrs. Duvall here.
Or you can Grouchy, whatever you want to call me.
Grainy. I like Grainy a lot. I'm going to start calling you Grainy. Hey, Grainy. Why don't you stick your tongue? I'll grab that next time and just pull it like my... You can check us out on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. Helps us out greatly. The more subscribers we get, the better videos and the more videos we can actually produce like this, as well as we have a bunch of upcoming shows that will help us out greatly in the long run of those shows. So make sure if you haven't subscribed, you do that. And gang, until next time, keep digging because you never know what you're going to find. Take care.